welcome to the final part of this video from Johanna Basford's weekly planner, and this is from Johanna's Christmas. We are going to start on our stocking, so let's come in nice and closely, well, as closely as we can, keeping them in shot. There we go. Now I'm going to start with the actual stocking, and we're going to do a stripy pattern as is drawn. I'm going to actually start with a juniper green for the green on our stockings are going to be green and red. So here is our juniper green, and I'm just going to get going. So we could try and add some shape to our stocking by making it a little bit darker on the edge. It would probably be darker on the bottom. Well, difficult really. Would it be dark on the bottom because there'd be shadow underneath, or would the light of the fire be hitting it and making it lighter? Difficult. I'm just going to make it a bit darker at the bottom because that's what I tend to do. It is up to you. I'm trying to see it. That's better. I have my head tipped wrong so I couldn't see through the right bit of my specs. And fill in these little dots. It's a complicated pattern, isn't it? You could, if you preferred, just colour the whole stocking in one colour and just let the pattern show through without worrying about colouring each little bit. It's quite fiddly. My stocking is just red. What colour's yours? Do you have a stocking? Well, no, I know a lot of adults don't bother, but I like doing them. I think it's fun. And little things to open in bed. Oops, I went over the line there. I was distracted by a noise in the ceiling. I couldn't look out if it was in the ceiling or next door. There we go. There it is. That's better. The stripy top. Same colour, different colour, different colour. Let's do this bit. I'll think about it while I do this one. Yeah, we've got a little rat in our ceiling, big one. I don't know. I need to get in the attic space in the eaves and see what's going on there. I think that's where they tend to come in. So, I haven't had time to do it today. I'll probably do it tomorrow. And that hopefully we'll find out the mystery where they're getting in. Now, I'm still not entirely sure about that top bit, whether to do it in different shades of red and green or not, but I'm going to use my dark red that we used before. What did we use? It was the middle cadmium red. I'm going to use that for this. I really should have emptied my pencil sharpener, but there we go. It's very full, I just hope my pencils don't break when I'm sharpening them. I think Father Christmas, he's come, but the fire's lit. It's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Maybe these are just, because his carrots had a bite out of it, and the, oh, didn't do that end one. And his cookies got a bite out of it, but the fire's lit. I suppose maybe the family have got up, they've lit the fire, they've discovered that he's been, but they needed to warm the room up before they took their stockings down. And they've also lit the candles. I wanted to make it nice and warm before they open things. I think that's a sensible idea. Though I don't think I would want these stockings this close to the fire. I don't know about you, but I don't like things dangling down over an open fire. That bit where I went wrong, it's okay. It just about works. And this side, working all the way up. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Johanna's planners when she runs out of pictures from Johanna's Christmas, because it isn't such a big book as the others, so it doesn't have so many Christmas pictures in it. So I wonder what she's going to do. Maybe they'll start repeating them. I don't know. But I know she's done some Christmas pictures that aren't in the planner, one of which I've already coloured for you. Oh, I don't know, I've missed that line out. So I suppose she could include those, but I'm not sure. I'm going to get my green, my juniper green, and just tidy up a few bits where I've missed areas. It's easier to see once you've done the rest where you've missed bits. I think if I do the top of that in different colour, it's going to look a bit odd. I can do it in this colour. Yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, I like buying the stocking presents, and I like putting stocking out and having one myself. I just think it's fun. My husband was always so bad. He would always, as soon as he'd finish opening it all, he would always just thank me. And I'd have to go, well, it's from Father Christmas, you know. And I think he let it slip to one of my sons, but not the other one. Right, the gifts. I'm going to do the gifts so they're all the same colour paper, I think. I'm just thinking, because they overlap, so maybe that won't work. Same colour ribbon. I think we'll do a yellow. Here's a cadmium yellow. Yeah, we've been using the cadmium yellow, so I think we'll use the cadmium yellow for the ribbon. So that's the first little bit. Let's put it down a tad so you can see. Now, it's going to be quite hard to do much with this ribbon with the yellow. I'm going to try and leave some gaps on that one just in the centre, but quite tricky. And we'll just fill that in. A little bow. Yeah, I find it interesting how different people have different traditions. My cousin used to put a pillowcase out rather than a stocking, and it would just get filled up with any presents that she had that were the right size. I'm going to go for the pale geranium lake for our first gift, and yeah, and a lot of parents let their children wake up and just open their presents as early as they like and don't get up with them, stay in bed. And I always think that's sad. I would like to see them get up and excited. It was always really nice. Now I have to get my one son up because he won't get up early. My other one still wakes up early. So my sister, her husband doesn't like getting up early, so he can be a bit grumpy on Christmas morning, whereas my husband finds it exciting. This permanent green olive, he didn't used to like it so much before we had children, but now we have, he likes it. So I'm putting this in quite dark because it's the same colour as these, but if I layer it up a bit more, it doesn't look like the same colour, but it's near enough so that it doesn't look like we're just introducing a completely different colour. Right, next is our rug. Now, I've seen this done in a manner of different colours. What I've decided to do is I'm going to do some of it in black. I'm going to do the black first. So here's my black, and I'm going to do the sort of pattern in black. And just work my way around. I'm going to do it quite solid if I can. And then when I come to do the colour of the main part of the rug, I'm going to colour right over this black, and you won't really notice, and it would just make everything so much easier. So I find trying to make the colour look even when you've got to colour around all these little swirls and things is really difficult. So if we can just colour right over the top of it, it'll be fine, it'll be easy. Now, the colour of this rug, I haven't thought about yet. I'm thinking about it now as I'm talking. I'm thinking about the colour of the wall at the same time, thinking maybe I'll try and tone it in. So I'm thinking, you know, if I do the rug red, the wall red, it's a lot of red, isn't it? Probably too much, but I am still considering red, with a sort of dark red on the wall, but then we don't want it to look like that we've smeared ketchup on the wall or anything. But I was thinking more of a deep dark colour rather than a bright colour, you know, more like an Indian red, something like that. That's a possibility. We could do the rug in a similar colour, because anyone who's got this sort of symmetrical matching mantle shelf, I think, would have a rug to match their wall, or at least sort of tone in, even if it didn't completely match. So that is that's sort of what I'm thinking. I think I've done this rug in blue before, and it provided quite the contrast to all the red and green. I'm just going to sharpen my pencil, but I don't know if I want to do it blue. So I'm still thinking. My heating's coming on. It's a bit warmer today. There's a bit of a chill in the air, but it wasn't too cold. Apparently it's supposed to be turning colder soon. We did, the weather forecast did say we're going to have snow on Thursday, and now it says we're not, and we're going to have it on Saturday. So I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. They have sort of said it's a bit early to say exactly where it's going to fall. We know that when the weather gets cold, there's always going to be snow in Scotland, particularly on top of the mountains, but apart from that, we don't tend to know what's going on. Just have to wait and see, which is quite fun when it comes to weather. It always gives us something to talk about in this country, because the weather is so changeable, and you know, we have good seasons normally, you know, rather than it being the same sort of temperature all the time. I know that in California, for example, where my aunt lives, they tend to just have warm weather all the time. It doesn't really get cold, so I wouldn't want that. She likes the warm weather, but I really don't at all. And it's nice to have a bit of a contrast, a bit of a change, I think, and you get the nice autumn leaves falling, things like that. You know, and also we get nice plants, whereas in countries that are hot, the plants are very different. They're sort of waxy and more sort of succulents and leaves rather than the pretty delicate flowers that we get here. because yeah, I remember in Australia the flowers, they're just much more hardy in the sense of not hardy as in can withstand the winter, but just as in, you know, they need to be able to survive in dry weather. It just looks so very different to what we have here. And I find it really interesting. What I find most interesting about Australia is the fact that the wildlife is so completely different to any other parts of the world. You know. So I guess being an island nation, like we are as well, that can happen. But I don't think we have anything that unique. I think a lot of our animals are in other countries too. There's a really knobbly bit under there. I don't know why, just really bumpy. There's nothing underneath. Ooh, sounds like husband's making me a drink. I hope he makes me one. I heard him gather up all the cups. It'd be nice to have a cup of coffee when I finish this. Now, what do we do here? Well, I think I'm going to go around here. Feels like the natural way to do it. Now, black Polychromos pencil doesn't usually smudge, so I'm thinking I'll probably colour over the top of it. However, there is always a risk. So you do need to be aware and a little bit careful in case it decides to. If you're using a more smushy pencil like a Prismacolor, then it definitely will smudge. You'd probably be better off putting it on after. Too late now. But anyway, we need to do these dots. Again, I need to sharpen, but I'm worried that my sharpener's too full. I'm just going to shake it a bit. Oh, now all the bits came out all over the desk. Just going to sweep them away. So otherwise they're going to get all over my cardigan sleeve. Sorry. All you can see is a bit of cardigan and a bit here my swishing. Yeah, I should do a ASMR video just going. I find those ASMR videos weird, but I don't have that thing. I'm going to do these little bits here. I know some people have this thing where certain sounds can make them feel a certain way, like they can literally make the arm hairs on their arms stand up and make them. I don't get that. I don't ever get that. Right, I'm going to do the tassels as well in black. So no, I don't. It's just not something that I experience. Oh, I'm managing to go miles out of the lines there. Never mind. No one's looking. We're quite zoomed out, you can't see. And the same on this side, and then I've got to make a decision about what colour I'm doing. I mean, I could stop the video and have a long ponder, but I'm not. I'm just going to go for it. An idea keeps nagging at me, so I'm going to do it. Because I did say it earlier, I said Indian red. Here's the Indian red, that's what I'm going to do. Trying to put it on so it's reasonably even, so that it doesn't look, so you can't tell I've coloured it in a certain direction. can see that thankfully my black isn't smudging. Where you can see black that looks smudged, it's actually just where I didn't colour in the line. This looks a little bit brown, but it matches our carpet, I think, just about. Just about. It's much quicker and easier to colour like this than to do little tiny circles, which is how you're supposed to colour. But I've got a bit of smudging going on there. But yeah, it's much quicker and easier, and if it looks a bit directional, it doesn't matter, it's a woven rug, it will have a sort of lines in it. Just trying to darken it so it looks as dark as that bit. Right, there it is. It's our rug. Now we've got our walls to do. That is the last bit we've got to do, I think. I'm just going to come out and see. Ah, no, it's the skirting board. You need a bit of brown. I think I used the nougat. Used that, didn't we, already? Nougat. Now, I'm going to do it fairly lightly to start with. I'm going to do it in this across horizontal direction, across direction. Of course, that's the right word. So that we can sort of make it look a bit more woody by adding lines like this. And some people paint their skirting board, so if you'd rather a painted one, you can do that. Ours are painted because they're horrible. But now we are going to choose our wall colour. Sorry. And as you may have guessed from our rug, we're going to go for a sort of Indian red. Now we have some darker reddy brown colours here, so I'm going to pick from them. Use my find a clean pad. See, I think that one is a bit too brown, but it might be okay. What do you reckon? I think I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to just smudge it on. Hope Mr. Robin survives. Now if you go over things that you don't want to go over in the colour that you picked, you can try and erase it a little bit. It does work a little bit, but you have to be quite careful because it's not perfect, but it can help a bit. Now these candles, I'm going to grab this orangey yellow colour, and I'm going to go around our candles in that. There we go, and then go back to our red. Put it in here. Try very hard not to get it on our mantle shelf. And then just take it all the way up. Now it's quite a rough finish because of the circular motion. It's not even or flat, and I think that's okay. But if you prefer it to be smooth, then you can just keep layering it up until you get a smoother look. Really should put a bit of paper behind this page. So I'm going to get it on the page below. Don't want to do. There we go. I was thinking my goodness, I'll be soon ready to do a flip through of this. Well, I think there's still 4 pages left actually. Quite a lot of weeks in December. I think December, it's January that often feels like the long month, I think, because of payday. Because often people, in the UK, people often get paid early in December, and then they spend it on Christmas presents, and then it feels a long time until they next get paid. I don't know whether being paid early, oops, is always a good idea, but I think companies do it so that their payroll staff can finish, you know, they can go home. Because I think normally a lot of people get paid the last Friday of the month, or the 28th, but a lot of factories and things close between Christmas and New Year, so it wouldn't be open necessarily on those days. So they pay people a bit early so they can go home and don't have to do it. Right, I'm going to try and smooth it a little bit. I know it can be quite good if it's a little bit messier, but I don't want it to be too messy, and I don't want there to be sort of obvious gaps where I've missed bits either. So it's just a matter of sort of filling in a few areas. And up there, that bit there seems too dark. We'll put a bit more colour around it, should help. Yeah, so you've got a really obvious bit there as well. We'll put a bit more here. Should help it be a bit smoother. That's all quite dark. I think I want to smooth it out, but I don't want to make it any darker, so I'm going to use a bit of a lighter colour to smooth it. I'm just trying to decide what to do, whether that one work. No. Maybe. I'm wondering whether I can use a blending pencil on this pastel. Oh, I'm going to give it a try. I've got a blending pencil, I just need to clean the end off by scribbling it. This is a Prismacolor colourless blender. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that's good. Now I can sort of push it into all the corners and the edges and the little bits that I want to do without risking it getting a mess and going into the wrong places. And hopefully I can just smooth it out a little bit. And look around here as well. And although I don't want it perfect, it just helps me a little bit. I need to lean on here so I don't get it all over my hands. Now you can use a blending solution as well if you want to. I've managed to use blending solution before with pastel, and what it also does is when it dries it sets it, so you don't have to use a fixative. Now, I'm not going to bother using a fixative on this page anyway, because the page facing it is just my diary page that I don't use, so it doesn't matter. But there are lots of different fixatives. The Loxley is quite a good one, but it's really smelly. But it works well. It doesn't wet the paper too much, and it's workable. So you can put it, so I could have put it on just now to stop it getting all over my hands, and then worked it like I am here still. But I've also, it does smell really, really bad, so I have to use it outside. That's another reason why I haven't used it, because it's cold outside. And it's also windy. Oh, I'm just blending the green into the background. Don't really want to be doing that, do we? Yeah, it's windy, and I find if I put something out in the wind, it can make the pages curl up a bit. So I have to be a bit careful of that as well. So it's yeah, it's just a matter of personal taste really, whether you use a blending pencil, whether you just keep persevering with your cloth, cotton cloth, whether you use blending solution. This blending pencil has not been the best idea, because I'm ending up blending other colours into the background. It has smoothed out some of the areas though, which is good. And yeah, so it's up to you really. You can experiment with the different things, maybe not in your colouring books if you're not feeling very confident, but you can experiment on some scrap paper, you know. I'm going to rub it all over again now with my cloth. I sometimes find that just rubbing it really hard helps improve the look of it without doing much else. And that is a lot quicker than doing it with pencil. Now you could go over it in pencil after if you want to, or you could put a bit more pastel on, which is what I'm going to do. It needs a bit more in some places. I think it's got burnished. No, I can put a bit more on. There we go. And you can just play with it. Now you can layer it up quite a lot, so it means that you can play with it quite a bit until you get the look that you're after. And you can mix the colours on the page, so if you wanted a slightly different tone of red, or brownish red, you could put a different colour on top, a yellow or an orange or whatever you might be thinking of, and just change it slightly. So there are options for you, which is always good, I think. I've done pictures before with pastel and almost completely changed the colour by the time I finished, you know, adding and layering and that sort of thing. So it just depends on what you're working with, what different colours. Sometimes, you know, certain colours are going to be more dominant than others. There we go, that's better. This bit up here I feel needs a bit more up here. Now at this point, as I'm just sort of finishing off, you can start thinking about whether you want to use any white pen in any areas to make any, or any, you know, gold pen, you know, maybe where the candle is supposed to be shiny, you might want to use some gold or something, you know, there are options for you there. I'm probably not going to. With me and white and gold or whatever, it's sort of all or nothing, and I'm quite happy with it without any white in. So I think I'm just looking carefully. The only thing I'm missing, which I'm going to do, is on my rug, on my carpet, these items here, there's no shadow under them. I think it looks a little bit odd, so I'm just going to grab, what's the colour that I'm looking, actually the nougat will work. I'm just going to grab my nougat and I'm just going to draw a bit of a shadow underneath here, and these logs things, they'd be just casting the smallest shadow like that, and then this one and this candle across the front of the fireplace. It just makes them look like they're sitting on the carpet rather than floating in the air. Hopefully they didn't look too floaty anyway. And then a little bit at the back there where the wall is shadowing as well, like that. And there, I think I am happy and done. So let's take that out. There we go. Gosh, there's so much mess on this desk. But there is our scene. I'm just double checking. I've just got this feeling that I've missed something out, but I'm looking. I'm sure it's all there. So I think we're all done. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. It's been quite a long one. Let's put it all in short so you can see it. There you go. But I hope you enjoyed and maybe took some inspiration, maybe coloured along. Yeah, as I say, quite a long one, but it was quite detailed, wasn't it? But thank you for watching. Hoping that you have a super day and happy colouring.